Hey guys, welcome back to another week of fundamental analysis. Um, yeah, I've been really enjoying doing these videos and just analyzing the market this way. It makes it so much more interesting. You know, confirming your bias. It's changed my trading for sure. This is week number 3, and we're going to go through our analysis. So, again, inflation. I'm just going to blast through anything that's changed. So, no change on USD, no change on AUD, no change on pound, no change on euro. We did get inflation reading for Japan, which was a plus 0.6 from the last reading, um, which is, yeah, it's good for Japan. They definitely need that inflation to go up. Interest rates, again, we'll just do any changes, so no change in interest rates. Except for, yeah, nothing changed since last week. That's a monthly data report anyways. Unemployment rates, no change here. We did see a decrease in unemployment. I think this would have been last week, but yeah, happy for the change. Obviously, is bullish for the Aussie. No other change in the other. Yeah, no other change for the other currencies. COT data. So last week, what we saw was uncertainty in the US dollar. We have a strong Japanese bias for shorts, even with the good news from last week. US 30 was strongly bullish, the commodity strongly bullish, Bitcoin still on the fence. Now this week's data, USD still 50-50. There is more participants in the market, so we have a 28% increase in the numbers of participants. We've got a decrease in the pound, which is interesting. I don't really have a bias for the pound right now, to be honest, so it is very bearish on all charts, but we're going to leave that alone. You can see Japan had good news. It increased its interest rates from negative to positive 0.1, but it's still very short bias from the commitment of traders. Overall, I'm still bearish on this. I'm bullish on Aussie just because of good unemployment rates. Quite a big shift in percentage. So I'm going against the COT data regarding these two pairs. But I believe, I believe in the fundamentals of Aussie right now against the yen, not against the US dollar though. Yep. So like it says, JPY pair strong bias to the short side, even though it had good news on interest rates, and just shows you how weak the yen, Japanese yen and Japanese market is right now. Still bullish on US 30. There was a decrease in 9% of participants, but you can still very strong long side. Commodities still very strong long side. Bitcoin neutral. Okay. So that's 4 weeks in a row this has been above 75% of commodities. Last week's data, we had, again, the increase in policy, the cash rate. This was a big week one. Let's just have a look at this current week's data that we had. So we had USD. Let's have a look. We have decrease in new home sales from forecasted. Not really crazy news anyways. Durable good orders, you can see people are ordering more durable goods, which is good for the economy. We've had a decrease in this Richmond Manufacturing Index. We had decrease in consumer confidence from forecasted, not too bad from the actual previous. We have increase in GDP numbers quarter to quarter. We had a slight decrease in unemployment claims, which is good. PMI has gone down. Chicago PMI. Increase in home sales. Increase expectancy of consumer sentiment. PCE prices, same. So look, it's with the US dollar, um, not too much. It's kind of giving us mixed signals. I do think it's overall bullish just because GDP's increased, um, and yeah, just because GDP is a very strong indicator of how the economy is doing. It's the strongest indicator essentially. I'm still bullish on USD, but we're on the sidelines just because mixed signals and COT data is quite mixed as well. Aussie, we can see. Let's have a look. We have a decrease in CPI, 0.1. We have decrease in retail sales. So again, not great news for the Aussie, but I'm still bullish on it. I am still bullish on it. So just because unemployment, Aussie had such good news on unemployment and employment rates. Um, that's the backbone of the economy. So still remaining bullish on Aussie. Pound, no news on the pound. Euro, we had we had Spanish flash CPI increase there, and Tokyo remains the same. So no real comments on these three, but uh, you know, bearish on Aussie this week, but still, again, my sentiment is bullish, so we'll remain with that. Future weeks, so next week's got quite a bit of USD PMIs, bunch of PMIs, unemployment again, NFPs on that week, so big news for the dollar next week. This might change our sentiment if we can get good numbers on the dollar, PMIs, the unemployment, the NFP. We might start going back long on the dollar, but we'll see how it goes against the weaker pair. Take home. Overall USD, I think it's still bearish, but COT's mixed. We do have mixed economic news in terms of revisions and expectancies, so I'm still on the sidelines for the dollar. Aussie, again, I'm going to go back to the strong employment numbers, like big differences as well, not minor. So I'm still bullish on Aussie, and I'm going to remain with this sentiment against the yen pair, which I think is still weak. Again, I'm going against pretty much all fundamentals in terms of economic indicators and COT data, but sorry, not all economic indicators, but I guess the inflationary ones, the PMIs, the housing sales, things like of that nature. But again, going back to employment and unemployment, working class being the strongest indicator of the economy, and seeing how weak the yen is still, even with an increase in interest rates, I'm still going to hold that bias. US 30, I'm actually in a trade right now. We've got good COT data again, so this is I think third week, so which is good. I still believe we've got stagflation in play, good for commodities, so still pairs remain exactly the same as last week. So let's have a look at the trades I was in this week. I think we've had two trades, one loss on silver, and we're still in US 30. I missed the trade on AUD JPY, so let's have a look at silver. Silver, we had nice uptrend, we had a support here, got in here, you can see we've just got taken out and it's now pushing up, so from this support. Part of the game, no issues there. US 30 that we're currently in. Now this one was actually a mistaken entry, so you can see US 30 is actually on a nice uptrend, right? I marked the support here, which did tap. Look, I wouldn't say it's wrong or right. I think this I would have preferred as my support area just because it covers more bases. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, 4, you know what I mean? So I think this is a better support. We might get rid of this right here just to clean up the chart a bit. See, this area would have been a better support, but I mean, we got in at the support we marked up earlier around this region here. You can see we're meeting some resistance now on this area here, which is clear resistance. So I'm not going to change that zone, but what I've done is I've moved it to break even, just because out of this rejection week, if it was to come down, at least estimating this will provide some resistance to price before it shoots back up, if it does go back up. So if it doesn't and it shoots through here, I'll look to probably enter here again, potentially, right? So at a stronger support rather than this area here. So US 30, I'm chilling. Best case scenario is it sort of wobbles here and goes back up. But again, if it picks up liquidity down here, I'm still safe until it hits my break-even stop loss. So we'll let that run. And then the last trade I wanted to mention was AUD JPY, which I missed an entry on this. Have looking at the chart, you can see still overall bullish for AUD JPY. Let me just draw my resistance here as well. Yeah, cool. So missed an entry here. I actually saw it touch this zone, but I wanted to wait for a close. You can see it's pushed up from there. It's still sort of range bound. It will need to test this area here anyways. So if we go to the brush tool, it will still need to test this resistance before we can expect something like that. It might come down again to go back up, or it might come down and tank back down. And look, could come for this, could seek that. Again, I'm overall bullish on this, so whatever happens, happens. I'm still bullish on this, so I've got no dramas. That might be potential support here as well, but yeah, missed entry here. You can see it's up. If I was to do it properly, it's went up around 1R, which isn't crazy anyways. So we will keep an eye on this. Hopefully we can get another entry here, but let's leave this one alone. Silver, we're probably going to leave silver alone. Let's see the other ones that I wanted to trade. So gold actually moving very nicely, broke this, so I'm hoping for a retest into this before it goes up again. That'd be a nice entry. And then oil we lost from 2 weeks ago. We lost this position here. You can see if we actually entered at this zone here, this would be up around 6% right now, 6R, but it is what it is. Oil, no trade until it potentially does the same thing as gold does that. So that's that week wrapped up. Let's just keep an eye on US 30. I'm just hoping for US 30 to break out of this resistance. But in the meantime, on the sidelines, AUD JPY, hoping it comes back down. These are the commodities here, probably not gonna move this the next week, so we'll just chill out, watch that. Alright guys, I'll see you next week again.